Okay, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Let's go, baby. Slam bars, kill PRs. I'm drinking my, let's see, Grape Rockstar. 2 for $4.50. Pretty darn good deal. Let's pop up YouTube here. There it is. I'm live with Greg Doucette, by the way, in 40 minutes. So I have a window here. We're going to talk weightlifting. We're going to get it going for the day. I'm going to jump off weightlifting talk, get Greg Doucette on, and we're going to talk GWL for the results of the first meet, and then getting ready for the next 4 meets for the rest of the year. So if you haven't registered for the GWL, come on now. Let's go, baby. It's an awesome weightlifting federation. We have tons of fun. It's all online from the comfort of your own home, garage, gym, all in real time. IWF board, points. Usually there's about 3 or 4 sessions on Saturday. We do run sessions on Thursday and Friday as well. Go to doweightlifting.com and get signed up. Come on, baby. Let's go. And let's pop up YouTube here. And just make sure that we are live. Which for some reason it's not popping up. Give me a second here. Just want to make sure we're good. There we go. There we go. Low hangs. And get signed up. Come on. Oh, I hear myself. Okay, cool. I got the chat up. So chat board, come on in. I hope everybody had a great Monday. And let's get to it. Okay, so we're going to break down an old school muscle driver video. And we're gonna break it down and have some fun with it. And we're going to go over just mindset, technique, programming, all the little nuggets that we can find, the emotions, all the little things in a training video that a lot of people don't see, to kind of pull back the Oz curtain, if you will. Hey, Greg Doucette, good morning. Greg's on YouTube. Pull the Oz curtain back and talk about things that maybe other podcasts don't touch on. I will be breaking down tomorrow morning, so stay tuned, an Iron Mind video. Old school. We're going to go old school starting tomorrow. We did 2 Cal Strength videos. We did the Donnie Shingles Bigger Than You. We did the one yesterday. That was the Building Champions at Cal Strength. We do a muscle driver video here. Iron Mind video tomorrow. And then I think I might just do like a technique video of a few different lifters the following day. So going to start getting more creative with the video breakdowns on the screen sharing. So stay tuned for that. It'll be fun. So, but yeah, look, we've done 2 Cal Strength videos. I feel like the muscle driver videos are just there's so much content here. There's so many nuggets here to better each weightlifter, through the hard training and what we accomplished at muscle driver. And I just wanted to break it down. So let's get to it. Also in an Attitude Nations program, this is the program today. I will also be breaking down, let's see if it'll go to it. Squats. By the way, 3 sets of 5. 225. Brutal video here. Brutal video. And I want to discuss technique, what coach is saying to me when he's yelling at me, mindset, all the little things in this video. And as you can see on the Team Attitude Nation program, on the email, we have the low hang snatch, we have the low hang clean and jerk, and then we are repping out sets of 5. They are all done on percentage. Let's go over those really quick, actually. So anybody that's not on the team gets a little sneak peek. I forgot that my video is being shared, so I need to be careful. We're just seeing all my inboxes and programs, and maybe I'm not going to click on that. But yeah, low hang snatch, clean and jerks. Oh, look, you can see it on YouTube. That's hilarious. Yep, look, those are all the programs, though. That's a lot right there. Join the weightlifting team. Doweightlifting.com. We'd love to have you. Oh, look, that's the Death March video. And we have that on the program as well. So for all the Attitude Nation athletes out there, this is a good team meeting as well for the program. Low hangs, pen lay 5s, and we're ending with the Death March. Okay, so let's get to it. and go to right here. Okay. All right, James Tatum, right here. And then we have my wife, Jessica Lee North, in the back. And there are so many videos I went over last night. I chose this one because it had good feel. This one was a few weeks out from American Open, where I totaled, I think it was like 365 at the American Open, taking best male lifter, winning gold and locking the snatch record out at 166 and then just missing it behind. So close. So really good meet. Beat the Russian. There was a lot of hype up for this meet. And so the training session, the cycle here was just really, really strong. We were really, really, really locked in and focused. And so I wanted to play this one here. So these are really low hangs. Shout out to Tom Sorka in the back here, rooting me on, watching me. 140K. I think this is. I can't tell what's on there. Could be 130, but really low. So kiss hangs, by the way, those were created because at California Strength, when coach would have us do low hangs, they'd be so low that sometimes the weight would kiss the platform, touch the platform on accident. And we didn't mean to, but we just were going that low. And I guess you could say, oh, lack of control, John. But, when you're in the trenches, things happen. And so Coach Penley just started calling them kiss hangs. And then I'll never forget, one day we came into training and he actually had them programmed. He said, you guys just keep touching the ground, so we're going to call them kiss hangs. And I want you guys to do that with every hang. So the kiss hang was created on accident. Coach Penley named it. And because of a mistake, they turned into an exercise. I think we're the only team that does kiss hangs. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. So just cool story about that, how an accident can turn into something so beautiful. I love kiss hangs. I think most of the lifts I do in this video are they don't kiss, but they're very low. Something to note here is the heels are very close together. The toes are out. I don't go this narrow anymore. But back in the day, I was the strongest I ever was in this video. I mean, this video here, I was winning nationals. I was winning AO. I was locking out records. I currently held the snatch record before it was taken away. Let's see. I was doing very well internationally. I was gearing up for a 360 plus total here at 94. This was really, really at a good time of my career. And look at the heels. I mean, they're close. They call that the frog stance. I like it just because I can have all of the power being pushed through the platform right underneath my hips. And I've always felt strong with the narrow stance. I squat with the narrow stance. I pull with the narrow stance. And notice, I always squat in the same stance I pull, because the squat pulls the lifts. We don't squat for, competition like powerlifting. We squat to strengthen the lifts. It's all about carryover. And so however you pull, that's the stance you should squat with. Andia, good morning. Yes, let's go. Will Hawkinson, good morning. Christ is King, the frog stance. We got Andrew on here. Good morning. Let's go, guys. Happy Tuesday. So pull and squat with the same stance. I can't stress that enough. And I am still a very big believer in a pretty narrow stance. Maybe not this narrow. But give it a try today, by the way. Trial and error. Can I just say that? There's nothing wrong with make weightlifting simple. I was actually going to do a whole topic on this, but I don't have a lot of time because with the Greg Doucette podcast coming up, I want to get to this video. Simplify weightlifting. And what I mean by that is the most complicated aspects of weightlifting can be simplified. Meaning, there's nothing wrong with, let's say you conduct your practice today. You've completed the weightlifting practice. Excellent. Nice work. There's nothing wrong with going into the gym, loading 40, 50 kilos, and doing 100 snatches, doing 100 clean and jerks, trying the frog stance, maybe try a hip clean, work the squat jerk maybe, try this weird Superman pull that Coach North talks about, work on the hit and catch drill, work on that bar body contact that finally now the weightlifting world knows about. Thank you, hook grip. Just practice weightlifting. And so even though you're attacking a complex movement, the discipline of weightlifting like golf, and you're in there and you're working technique and you're trying things, you're simplifying weightlifting at the same time. You're just going in and you're just doing weightlifting. You do the program, you go into the gym later, you practice the technique, trial and error. I used to do that all the time. Gosh, I've tried everything. I know that I'm not a good hip cleaner because I've tried for, well, off and on for many years because I've always wanted to be like Donnie. I'm just the worst hip cleaner in the world when it gets past like 100 kilos. Don't ask me. So I'm a thigh cleaner like Klokoff, and like I would say about 85% of all weightlifters in the world are thigh cleaners, and I'm okay with that. My dynamic start has changed many, many times. The dynamic start before this meet here in this video was money. Click back and go. Everything was timed perfectly. And by the way, that's why I sit down there so long. I'm preparing for the dynamic start. And it's not just the dynamic start that's so technical. It has to be precise to make the lift. It's the most important part of my snatch is the dynamic start. Donnie says I'm the greatest American snatcher to ever live. Quote unquote. I know that sounds prideful. I'm telling you, that's what Donnie said. Thank you, Donnie. I love you. I was untouchable in the snatch, I will say. And I'm telling you on this microphone, live on air, that the most important part of your snatch is the dynamic start. It sets everything up like the domino effect. And why I sit down there like Klokoff so long is because the pre-dynamic start is just as important because it's the setup for the setup. Making sure, it's very strange. Right before I click back and start my dynamic start, I am completely on the balls of my feet. My weight is forward. My arms they have no tension. They're actually loose. A lot of times they're bent. My shoulders are in front of the bar. I'm definitely not in a pulling position, but I'm taking that slightly forward momentum. I'm taking that setup, and then as you can see in this video soon, I click back, horses at a gate, click start, if you will. I did a video in Tim Walker's garage a few months ago with the chalk dots. And I want you guys to work on this dynamic start. You could do the high hips and drop, many different ways to skin a cat. But the point is that it's all about building tension and momentum, breaking the platform. Let me say that again. Tension and momentum, really torque. I like to use the word torque, breaking off the platform. I feel like there's 3 phases to the pull. I know that classically it's first pull, second pull. But I always like to say these days, it's break, just that weight coming off the platform, just an inch. That's the break. Where are you in that position? Break, first pull, second pull, which the second pull is the scoop. Of course, contact, finish, catch, all the other amazing aspects of technique. Bud Pierce, come on, baby. Let's go. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I want you guys to attack the program, have fun with weightlifting, and I want you guys to simplify the sport of weightlifting. We'd come into training in these videos here. Now we're in the world of muscle driver. And it was just get your shoes on and do what coach says and just focus on who can train the hardest. Focus on becoming the best weightlifter you could be and stop overcomplicating the sport of weightlifting. Stop making the sport of weightlifting boring. How many clubs out there and coaches and teachers, boring. They're on a boring program. They train 4 or 5 days a week. There's people telling you to train less and you'll be better. Never wanting to talk about genetics, though. Yeah, if you get a freak athlete that's genetically gifted by God and he trains kind of hard 5 days a week consistently, yeah, he's going to be really, really, really good. But we don't want to talk about genetics in the sport of weightlifting, do we? You get a guy like Kendrick Ferris, probably the most, besides Caleb Ward, old school cow strength, who I always talk about, big boy. Caleb Ward is the greatest athlete I've ever witnessed. I'd say Kendrick Ferris is number 2. Maybe they're even tied. Kendrick Ferris is one of the greatest athletes I've ever witnessed, period. And I've been around amazing athletes. And I don't really know Kendrick's style. I know the Shreveport way, and I don't know how many days a week he's trained and how many hours per session. But my point is, if you take a guy like Kendrick Ferris, especially at a young age, and you give him a 5-day-a-week program that lasts an hour and a half per day, maybe 2, add some squats in there, maybe on a Saturday. Yeah, he's going to blossom like no other, and he's, be an Olympian. But you can't. And there's a video that came out yesterday that people are tagging me. I'm not going to name names. So I'm kind of going on a rant for that if you get my hidden message. But I love how these people never want to talk about genetics. It matters. If you're not that genetically gifted, this is my point here. And you're just kind of, I don't want to say the word average. That's a horrible word to use, but just kind of a normal athlete. You're not gifted like Ferris, Usain Bolt, Julian Edelman. Let me stick to more weightlifting. I don't know why I'm getting onto football here. Fighting like a Jim Jones, or is it John Jones? Sorry, John Jones. Like a Andrea Romnow. But the more you train, the better you're going to get. If you really want to reach your true potential in the sport of weightlifting, the more you train, the better you're going to get. I could use myself as an example in the jerk and being a strong weightlifter. You could say, oh, I'm a good athlete. I'm genetically gifted. Yes. In the snatch, yes. In the clean, yes. But strength-wise, God did not make me with great strength. I've never been strong. My lockout in the jerk, genetically horribly gifted. The Lord did not make me. Before Genesis 1:1, Lord's like, John's going to have a pretty rough jerk. And that's fine, because guess what? When the Lord made me like that, he knew I was just going to have to work that much harder. Did you hear me, what I just said? He knew I was going to have to work that much harder to catch my strength up to my competitors that I competed with. The Jeff Whitmers, the Phil Sabatinis, the Jared Flemings. These athletes that were 3 times stronger than me in every aspect, coach had to work that much harder with me to get my strength a little closer to them to be competitive, to get my jerk making lifts that were competitive with podium lifters. I can clean a house. I could probably, I don't miss cleans, but I had to work. And I guarantee you right now, I just want to say this and make this very clear, and I know I'm on a side rant here. If I was on one of these programs and listening to these talking heads, who some have credibility and some do not, and I understand there's more than one way to skin a cat, and if you're genetically gifted, I do think that you should talk about that, but they never do, of course. If I listened to one of these talking heads and I trained 5 days a week back then in my career and did these soft programming cycles that I see, I would not be sitting here today. I would not have made Team USA. I would not have broken records. I would not have won national titles. I would have not taken best male lifter at multiple national meets. I would not have been number 1 in the country, St. Clair, for a while. I would not have made the Olympic team in 2012, which, of course, I was not on, but definitely would have been on because I was top 3 if we took a full team these days. But I digress. That's a shoulda, woulda, coulda statement. That was like a flex statement without flexing. That was a reverse psychology statement. Because I do think about that from time to time. Let me drink my energy drink real quick. Greg, I'm moving, Greg. But because I trained 7 days a week and I pushed it, I listened to my coaches, I trained all day, not just a few hours a day, I was able to achieve what I achieved because I had some weaknesses I had to overcome. Plus I had to also work on what I was good at. One of the reasons why I was so dominant back in the day is because a 160, 163 snatch at 94 was deadly and it was very tough to beat and nobody ever did. Maintaining a consistent 160 snatch at a 94 weight class in competition is not easy. You have to train 6-7 days a week all day to keep that. So my point is, before I put a bow on this, is simplify training. Okay? Practice the sport, even extra work like I talked about with technique. Do the program without thought. Just focus on max effort and giving it your best. And train as much as you can. If you want to get some extra squats in there, get some extra squats in there. Clear your mind. Cut the ball and chain off your ankles. Have fun with programming. Enjoy the sport. And simplify the complicated. All right, let's move on. I spent way too much time on that, but I think it was important to note. Free yourself from the elites. All right, look at that Superman pull. So low hang. Notice in the low hang too that I'm reversing. I call it be kind, rewind, like Blockbuster. Notice how I'm getting back into my start position in the low hang. So in that pause right there on YouTube that I just held for some time, my hips were low, my chest was up. I was having that coiled start. Of course, there was no dynamic start because of the low hang. But make sure you guys are getting back into that coiled position. Okay? Thank you, Andy. I will, bud. Yes. Perfect. Greg's got coffee on. You guys know my technique. I love it. Long lever. I did a few videos in Tim Walker's gym a few months ago on the YouTube channel here, kind of re-going over the Superman pull. Especially, I think we did that 5-step video we did. I thought that was really good. Trying to simplify the complicated. Long lever, knees back, bar back, shoulders traveling in front of the bar, back arch, chest still up. And now the first pull is complete here. This was a good pause. Bars right above the knee. Of course, there's no drag. And at this point, the hips are going to drop, the shoulders are going to pull back, and the scoop of the second pull is going to activate. 140. Travis Cooper. I can't tell. Green and two, red and two greens. I can't really tell here, but Travis Cooper. Caleb Whitby. Jeez. See, in the back, in the front of us here were all the Rogue plates. Every Rogue plate you pretty much saw back in the day was made in this warehouse. Muscle Driver made all of Rogue's equipment, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. And then the owner, Brad, had a falling out with the owner of Rogue. Rogue cut Muscle Driver, and Muscle Driver lost 90% of its clientele, and that's why Muscle Driver went bankrupt and went under. There's a story for you. So that's the inside scoop. So that's why you don't see the warehouse a lot. And this was one warehouse out of about like four or five. There were huge warehouses all around us here. But yeah, Muscle Driver make all of Rogue. I don't know if it was all of it, but it was a lot of it. It was a lot of it. And so Pretty much the same product. Muscle Driver and Rogue were pretty much the same product. I think they were the same product. But the downfall of a business, very sad story, but that was one very, very big aspect of it. 130, James Tatum. Good fight here in the catch. I think James was either 81 or a 77 here. So 130 and a low hang snatch is very impressive. Oh, it's okay. Caleb Whitby had tons of mobility issues. Never blossomed like he could have. You know, I like Caleb Whitby, and he trained really hard. He could have been great. He really could have been. I'm being nice right now. But again, he's one of those weightlifters that just kind of walked off into the fog and chose a different route in life, which is fine. But I believe if he would have stuck with it and put another 4 or 5 years in, he would have been national champion. But, you know, he walked into the fog, and not saying it's a bad thing, but just another lifter down. But we're still here. from 06 to now, here we are, baby. We're still here. Let's keep it going. Hey, Luke, good morning. Here goes Travis Cooper, 120. Absolute monster. You know, you look at the longevity of Travis Cooper, and I would, even though he's never popped off like lifters like, you know, Ferris, Wes Kitts, Shane Hammond, Donnie, like obviously Hampton Morris. But you look at the longevity at a high level and what he's accomplished, I would put him top 5 in the debate. I'd put him top 5 greatest American weightlifter to ever live. I would, and that's a big statement. But I really would with Travis Cooper. You got to remember when I first got in the sport of weightlifting and I was training at Sac State, there was magazines. I don't know if you guys know this, but there was weightlifting magazines full of all the lifters and articles and all this kind of stuff. USAW, if you're hearing me, we got to bring this back. And Travis was all over the magazine, like because I subscribed to it and we got magazines every month. He was on the cover, articles, pictures. And again, you got to remember, this was like before internet. This was like 06. This was like early. I think we were still just, you know, rocking MySpace. Facebook was just starting to get big. And Travis Cooper was like the number one guy. Jeff Whitmer, who I was idolizing, was the inspiration to become national champion. And here we are. And then it was just surreal to be teammates with Travis Cooper at Muscle Driver. Of course, he visited Cal Strength a lot, but to be truly teammates on the A session at Muscle Driver was just a surreal moment for me. And just to think that he is still weightlifting. I know he's doing powerlifting now, but it's just amazing, the longevity. Nice. See, you know, you miss it, you come back and you make it. Well, what does that mean, John? Why are you telling us that? Because I think there's probably a lot of clubs out there that if you miss something heavy like 130, you just move on. You know, you stick to the percent. You got to understand there was 0 percentages with Penlay. 0. You know, Attitude Nation has definitely added percentages in. I've added that. We've modified the Penlay method a little bit. The root and the philosophy of the Penlay method will always be strong. But you it's just hearing these interviews and these people today. I mean, James Tatum. No one talks about James Tatum enough. James Tatum had a killer resume. Unstoppable, you know, and really on the rise to the top here in these videos. I mean, Glenn Penlay created James Tatum to be an absolute monster that Tatum even went on to achieve greatness a few years after this is really when he hit his peak. There was no percentages ever besides a team battle. I've talked about that before, right? You know, 90%, who can make 10 snatches without missing. There's $200 on the line. Like, yeah, you know, EMOMs, 20 snatches in 20 minutes. So, Every once in a while, there was percentages as kind of like a team challenge, but 97% of training, just day in and day out, there was no such thing as percentages. Is anybody listening to me? Okay, and this is why I make it, well, geez, Coach North, but you're ranting and raving on the microphone right now, but you have percentages for today. You have minimum, target, wolf, and make Penley smile. All 4 tiers of percentages. Absolutely, I do. These are what I want you to hit. Whatever you can hit. Wolf, Penley smile. I think it's fun. It adds a team challenge element. But again, as you know, even though I program percentages, the Penley method is here on this team is if you want to go up, go up. See, I'm never going to stop you from going up. So essentially, every day is a max effort. Every day is max out. What are you going to hit? Have accountability for yourself. I can walk you to the water, but are you going to drink it? You know how many athletes I put effort into to be national champion? Here's the water, drink it. And they go, I'm going to go over to this puddle of water. And then they disappear forever. There's only so much I can do. Now, I want to pull you. I don't want to push you. I like that philosophy, by the way. I want to pull you. I'm in the trenches with you. I'm doing the podcast here. I'm training. We're in it. I want to pull with you. I don't want to just say, hey, go do the work, push. You know? No. We're in it together. Pushing somebody, I just almost feel like they're doing the work and they're breaking the wind and I'm behind them getting the easy route. And if I push them enough, they'll win and then I'll just take credit for it, even though they were the ones that were taking all the wind. Right? Like in cycling. I don't want to push you guys. I want to pull you. Let's pull ourselves through the trenches, through the darkness, so then we can pull ourselves up onto the podium for victory. This is the philosophy I have with it. So simplify training, pull each other, and always push yourself with that max effort. Him, there we go, right there. 77, Will Hawkinson, thank you. Powerlifting Phenom, Cooper Nation, let's go. Karen Smith, have a blessed Wednesday, brother. Oh, Kareen, sorry. Who's this? Come on, John Schenkel, let's go. YouTube, you guys are rocking today. I might be different in this, but my snatch stands and my clean stance are different. Huh. I know Cal Strength gets most of the love, but these Era Muscle Driver videos are underrated. They really are. Always strike when the iron is hot. Greg Doucette. Absolutely. Beautiful comment there. Absolutely. Let's keep going. These are fun, by the way. YouTube, keep it going. I got like 10 minutes. I got 10 minutes until I got to jump off and get rocking with Greg. So let's get this going quicker here. Jeez, man, they're just working in the back here with the tools. There's Lexi Dog, by the way, my old pit bull. Love you, baby. See you in heaven one day. Okay, so there's 30. So that must have been like a 90 or 100 or something, some dirty load that me and Travis were doing. 130, bars back, chin is down, eagle lock. Let's keep it going. Chris Goot was a freak. Turn it down a little bit. 125, Travis Cooper. Here's my lovely wife. 55. No, 60. Nice 60 by Jess. She's got the best technique in the world. Here's Mike. Freak athlete. Turn it all the way down. James Tatum, we got 133. Low hang, big finish. Close. Here's 140. Focused on the dynamic start, getting my mindset right here. Click back, as you can see right there. Even look at that. Jeez, that's a low hang. 140 like nothing. Notice that even on the stand up of the hang, I forgot we were even doing hangs for a second. I was like, oh, I clarked it. I still did the dynamic start. The setup was the same. Don't be a lazy weightlifter. Okay, I won't train with you. Okay, there's a gym out in, I won't name names or name gyms, but there's been times where I've attempted to train with people and I can't. And it's nothing against them. I love them as people. Great. But there are lazy weightlifters I will not train with. I've trained with the greatest weightlifters of all in the entire world. I know what hard training truly looks like. And if you're joking around and you're talking and you're grab assing and you're not training hard and you're not pushing yourself and you're on some bullshit program, I will not train with you. I just won't. It's the biggest pet peeve of my life. You're wasting your talent. You live once on this planet. If you're going to do something, do it. Well, that's just being very extreme, John. You're here you go with your extremeness again. I want you to reach your true potential as a father, as a business person, making money, lifting weights. Everything you do, you must fight. We talked about it last podcast, yesterday morning. If you haven't listened to the podcast, listen. I talk about fighting. Every day is a fight. It's not supposed to be easy. I want you to crawl your way, scrape. I'm looking at my fingernails here. Scrape every single day to be the best you can. Okay? And that goes with training. So if you're going to be lazy and you're going to just grab the bar and stand up with a rounded back, I don't got time for it. Too many lazy weightlifters today. So 140. Yeah, you can see my expression there. Really, really, really hard training. If you know about this video here, this was 2 weeks before Arnold or American Open. And again, this was probably one of the best shapes I've ever been in. I was deadly. But you could just tell my expression when I dropped the weight. This was like, oh, man. I mean, we were in here all day. It was hot. We were pushing. There was a lot of hype because this Russian, I forget his name, was talking crazy crap for like 3 months before the American Open. I mean, of course, I had to build to battle everybody, and then this Russian guy pops in. So Sidoris, Wilkes, the Wilkes brother, Fleming, I mean, Sabatini, who else? There was tons of other 94s that were legit top three in the country, and then this Russian guy came out of nowhere. It was like, I'm going to beat John North, that cocky mother, and started talking crap on all over the internet. And me and Glenn just got super pissed. And the training was just intense. I mean, how we were pushing training so hard to beat this guy. And I tell you right now, they had to break us up in the warm-up room. They had to move us platforms. We pretty much got into a close fist fight. We got into a pushing match. We had to weigh in differently because there was a pushing match in the weigh-ins. I was talking crap. He was talking crap. I mean, it was like a UFC fight. And I've never been so mad in my life. And I went out there and I went 5 for 6 with the American record, locked out at 166 in the snatch. Missed it behind, but gosh, it was right there. I buried this guy. He had no chance. I've never been more cocky. I've never had more ego. I have never been more like Mike Tyson mixed with Muhammad Ali than I've ever been in my entire life that meet. And when you get right mentally, and when you go into a meet confidently with hard training underneath you, when you know that you have hard training underneath you, behind you, and you got a team that's behind you, you will be victorious and Goliath's head will be cut off. So don't talk crap, because guess what? I'm going to out-train you and I'm going to beat you. It's that simple. Here's Puffy. 63. Nice. Very good. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful by Jess. Here's 130 by Travis Cooper. Good. Right there, right there. 145. Notice the head shake there? So I'm getting in my head. So you got to remember, I have a lot of ego, confidence. I'm getting ready for this big battle. American Open, second biggest meet of the year. I want to break the snatch record. But you could see the whisper right there, Will Hawkinson. You see that? You could see the devil in the red dress whisper in my ear. You could see the insecurity, the crack cocaine, the meth whispering back in my ear. The alcohol whispering in my ear. Come drink, come party. You're a nobody. You're weak. You're going to lose. You know, you've made a million mistakes in life. You don't deserve to be here. Should we go back and see that? Did I miss it? Let's go back a little more. Right there. There's the head shake. That right there was nothing but just weakness and the devil whispering in my ear constantly, telling me I'm a piece of shit, that I'm nothing. That is it right there. You have to shake your head and you have to fight that off and move forward. All right, here goes 145. I forget how much I even hit in this session, but focus in, dynamic start, stand up, confidence, really low, basically a kiss, and then got it. Okay, a little shaky, but we made it. Chris Goot, monster athlete, greatest guy ever. Mike, smaller cats down here in the corner just grinding. We got, I'm just going to kind of fast forward because I got to go soon. Here's 35 by Travis Cooper. I want you guys to watch these videos. They're going to help your training. It's good just to sit back sometimes and watch hard training. Here goes Jess. Look at this right here. Big Reds. Aaron Huss, check it out. 65K, low hang. Wow, it kisses the platform. Boom. Look at that Toma lock. Jess had the best meet of her life, by the way, as well at this American Open. James Tatum, 120. Whack. Come on, baby. YouTube, you still with me? Who's still here? Comment on the chat. So Tatum, if you guys remember, came back and made that 30 or 33. I think he made 30, then missed 33, and then Coach has him drop down and do drop sets. And basically the drop sets are what Coach Penley, that's basically Coach Penley saying move on, right? But we're not just moving on, we're getting those drop sets in. So Penley was just huge on the drop sets. Here's 150 kilos from the low hang. Oh, I love these videos. This is fun. This was good to see for everybody. Greg Doucette, you see that? Hawkinson, Andrew, who's with me here? Matthias, go into the gym now. Let's effing go. Come on, baby. All red hearts. Let's go, Matthias. Look at that. Best shape of my life. 2 weeks out from a 360-something total. 150, I Clarked it. So I just want people to know out there that if you Clark a lift, you miss a lift, it's okay. You just got to keep fighting. Jamie Johnson, good morning. Let's go. Yeah, a little too much kiss on that one. Greg probably has a good point there. You got to be careful with the kiss. You don't want to hit the platform too hard. And again, if you guys haven't signed up for the Gladiator Weightlifting League, let's go. DoWeightlifting.com. Results are they out yet, Greg? I know we're going to talk about it in a second. Go to the Facebook page, Gladiator Weightlifting Facebook page. Check it out. Let's see what you're ranked. And let's get ready for these next 4 meets. You can see the schedule at DoWeightlifting.com. Stop listening to the talking heads about wearing straps and missing lifts and you shouldn't Clark. All of these things. You should train 5 days a week. Stop listening to this stuff. Okay? I'm walking proof that you could Clark and come back and keep fighting. Because I'm pretty sure I come back and make that. Okay? Yes, posting today. Exciting. All right, here's 140, Travis Cooper. I got 3 minutes and then I got to go. Whack. Look at that. Look at Tom watching. Look at that, by the way, Tom Sorka. Shout out to Tom Sorka. Just, good teammate here. Notice it's the gym etiquette at a high level. Tom's over in the corner just grinding, training hard, and stops to watch his teammates lift, looking back at some muscle driver videos the last few days, listening to the amount of times that Tom's like yelling everybody on and come on, John, and come on, Trav. Just super nice. Super nice. and that's something that I think more people need to take note to, is the example of Tom here of just rooting on athletes at big weights rather than being on the phone and talking. So a little nugget there. So here's Jess at 68. She's looking sharp. Back is really arched and tight. Big up top. Really close there. So everyone's really at the top lifts. Tatum already went down and drops. This is probably going to be 120. I mean, and Chris Good is lightweight. Here's 150 on the comeback after a Clark. Good. Okay, so that's a good example there. So you Clark the lift mentally. And you're in your head. You guys saw me shake my head earlier. So the devil in the red dress is whispering in my ear. So Clark it. Then I come back and I miss it. But guess what I did? I went under. So there's levels to this shit, right? I Clarked it. I got my mind right. Coach Penley probably came over and talked to me, whispered a few things in my ear. And then at least I went under and at least I went for it. So that's a really good sign right there. And you got to take the victories where you can, guys, if you're listening. 145. So Travis is coming at me here. Again, granted, he is a weight class below me. So very impressive. But you guys, have you guys seen the Travis Mash videos? Me and Travis would train together and battle on the blocks and stuff. I know it's Will Hawkinson's, I think, favorite vlog is the Travis Cooper one at the Mash Mafia. You got to have lifters to battle with, A. And B, you got to find the victories where you can. Okay? So knowing that I went underneath that last 50, I probably have confidence to say, oh, I got this. And then come back and make it. I mean, Will Hawkinson's the king of that. Nobody trains harder than Will Hawkinson. He'll go for days because what Will Hawkinson's done is he's simplified training because he enjoys it. And he doesn't listen to the people that want to put a ball and chain on his ankles. That's why he's the Arnold champion of the world. Can't even remember if I make it, Will. I reviewed this video quickly the other day, but it's been a while. Chris Gooch, just all he does is train. This guy was the first one in the gym and the last one out. Okay. So here's another little nugget that's fun about doing these podcasts. Notice there's yellows on the bar now. The whole greens with the whites wasn't cutting it. Now, you could say, well, Travis Cooper probably went up to 50, but he could have just put the whites on. So why did we put the yellows on? I don't know. Maybe Coach Penley told us to put the yellows on. But sometimes when you color up and you change the bar, it helps mentally. Good. 150. Low hang. Oh, gosh. These are fun. I wish I found this whole screen share thing a long time ago. Oh, this is good. That's the pouty face. That's the 10-year-old throwing a fit right there to dad. Coach Penley being my dad. That's Coach. Like I'm telling on the bar. Like the bar took my popsicle. Like, Coach Penley. Just the pouty face, the hands. Like, it's not my fault. Like, what the heck? Like, I'm telling on 150 to Coach Penley. Like, Coach Penley's going to go over and like put the bar in timeout. Complete pout. Just a 10-year-old little John here throwing an absolute fit. Like, it's not even my fault. Like, it's not my fault I missed the weight. There's a lot of different emotions in this. I mean, cocky. I got the devil whispering in my ear for insecurity. Now I'm pouting. But that was close, though. Let's keep going. Again, it's okay to show emotion. Stop being a robot. Okay. Ooh. We got some battles here. This is a good video. Here goes 70 by Jessica Lee North. Low hang with a kiss. Whack. Yes, she did it. Nice, babe. With the Jedi Slam, Matthias Steiner. Cool. You see that? She missed, I think it was 68. She put on 70 and made it. And Will Hawkinson will be the one that'll tell you this too. Sometimes you just got to put more weight on and you'll make it. All right, here we go. Get behind me, people. Come on, John. Let's see if I can make this 150 for Coach. Just an epic battle here at 50. How many shots? See, how many? Oh, is this more than 3, Will? Is this more than 3 attempts? Here we go. Kiss. Whack. Oh, gosh. How many tries? Now, perfect example. I had no idea I missed this much in this video, to be honest with you. So this is organic talking. It's for all the freaking talking heads that have never won a senior gold medal. Let me tell you something. The whole 3 miss and move on is bullshit and is soft and is weak, and there's a reason why you haven't won a senior medal. Okay? I don't need to sit here and tell you, I don't need to categorize my national title, because when you win Masters as senior, it's just called national champion. I don't need to categorize it. Okay? So if you don't have that hanging from your neck, or you've not produced an athlete that's hanging from the neck, I don't want to hear your advice on 3 and done. Okay? If you have one of those medals hanging from your neck, then fine. You could speak that to the world, but that's still your opinion. But I don't want to hear it. There ain't no such thing as 3 and done. Stop with your rules. I stopped following rules a long time ago. I read the Bible and I found the real truth. I don't listen to the made-up Egypt, the made-up society, the made-up weightlifting rules. I don't do the level 1s and the 2s and the textbooks. I do street weightlifting with dirt under my fingernails. Okay? I know the real truth. It's 66 books. Okay? So don't tell me to move on after 3. Don't tell me to calm down, John North. That's the one. Calm down. Okay. Don't drop out of school, John North. All the things that people, if I listened to what people told me to, these people that weren't even in my corner, I'm not talking about Coach Penley and my wife and stuff. These people are in my corner. If Travis Cooper pulled me aside and said something, I'm listening. But people that I don't know, that I'm not connected with, if I listened to all of these talking heads, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I wouldn't have the resume I have. I wouldn't have represented my country, traveled the world. I wouldn't have made millions of dollars in the sport of weightlifting as an entrepreneur by myself, as a gym rat junkie. I mean, think about that. I got nothing. College dropout, nothing. And I'm sitting here today. Why? Because if I miss 3 times, I keep going. If I was on the Joe Rogan podcast and Joe Rogan looked at me and said, if Joe Rogan looked at me on the podcast and said, you know, John North, pretty cool story. Like, what's the secret? I'd be like, keep going after 3 misses. That would be my answer on the Joe Rogan podcast, because it applies for everything in life, not just weightlifting. Okay, let's keep going. Caleb Whippy. Ooh, a little double kiss right there. I don't know what that was. It's all right. It's all right. He was pretty new. You know, Caleb was one of those guys that got thrown in the fire, joined Muscle Driver, had a big strength background, and then Glenn just threw him into the fire of hard elite training. And he did good. Again, just needed some mobility work. And if he would have stuck with it, he would have been good. Chris Goot. I don't know where Chris, if you're listening, or if someone knows Chris Goot, can you have Chris Goot call me? Have him DM me on Instagram at Attitude Nation. I need to catch up with Chris Goot. I also need to apologize to Chris Goot about something. It's about a 9/11 thing. I think I did apologize to Chris Goot, but I need to do it again. So if someone could reach out to Chris Goot, please have him DM me. Here's 150. Get behind me, guys. Kiss, punch. There it is. We did it, podcast. 150. Gosh, no celebration. That's a weird one. Did you guys just see that? That's how you know it's hard. No John North celebration. That's mind-blowing. See, again, like I told Caesar, this is just a survival session. Train hard, tired, survive the session, come back and fight for the made lift after like 6 misses. Listen to what coach says. If coach doesn't say move on, I'm going. Okay? The reason why I have 130 loaded here for the drop set, let's push play, is because Coach Penley said move on. These are Korean reps. That was a make. Was that one from the floor? There you go. So doubles. 130 at doubles. Ouch. And think about that. After all those misses, they come back and have to hit doubles at 130. And again, we have clean and jerks. We have squats. It's not like a quote unquote snatch day. This shit never ends, man. Here goes my wife, 60, after making a strong 70 low hang. So drop sets, the Penlay drop sets, always classic. Even if you're on a different program, which you should be on mine, we'd love to have you. Do weightlifting.com. You should be getting some extra drop sets in to add to your program. Coach shouldn't have a problem with that. Your coach should not have a problem with you doing more work. That's just my opinion. If he or she has a problem with you doing extra work on top of the program, I don't know. You can figure that out yourself. Nice job traveling the drop. Moving on to the clean and jerks here. Jess in the background watching James. Rooting each other on. Dirty bar 150. Close. Again, hard training, a lot of misses. Here's 130 drop again. Not just one drop set, but multiple drop sets. Maybe that first one was a miss. That was definitely not. Oh, got to adjust the penis. A lot of people don't realize that I was in the back of an ambulance in like the 2007 American Open because I tucked up and the bar hit me. The whole penis was purple. So be careful with that, dudes. That's a miss. I had to adjust. I don't know. I'm pissed. Look at that. Hands in the air. Lexi dog hugging Jess. If I showed her that right now, she'd probably start crying. There you go, Will. Let them know. I see the chat board going right now. Yeah, the 1800s was just like 3 weeks ago. I stick to the original documents, original transcripts that were written by Isaiah 44:6. Let's go, James. Nice job on the jerk there. Good work. Good work. All right, 150. So now we're moving on to, it looks like kiss cleans / low hangs for the team out there, Attitude Nation. Good. 150. My jerks were solid. Getting ready for the meet. Kelly Starrett, we had a lot of work on us with massages and stretching and PT work. You got to remember too, we were pretty spoiled back then. We had, we were getting paid to lift. We were getting paid a lot, actually. I was getting paid a lot of money to lift weights. And, we got food and massage and PT work constantly, and of course everything was taken care of. Travel, we didn't have to worry about anything besides just training all day, which I am trying my hardest to recreate that with many athletes. But my fight as a coach, there's 160, hands are falling apart. My fight as a coach is not fighting the athlete or fighting the bar. My biggest fight as a weightlifting coach, I'm finding out, and Glenn could probably attest to this, is fighting the world. Because the world takes away weightlifters with things that, the world will lie to people. You need to go get a job. You need to, finish school and get a career and, rather than just train all day. Here's 170. Get a little part-time job, but just make enough money to live in a studio apartment. There's 170. Nice jerk. Live in a studio apartment and just train all day, as long as you can just eat McDonald's and some top ramen and eat enough eggs and get some protein powder. You're good to go. Here's Jess, 85K. Jessica Lee North. Strong jerk. Again, she's come 2 weeks out from the best meet of her life at AO. Lexi dog just walking across the platform there. Ooh, 180. Looks like a dirty misload. Might have been a misload there. It happens in the trenches of training. Here's 180K. That was just a Clark there. Oh, look at that. So Travis Cooper Clark's, I Clark, we're missing lifts. We keep going. James Tatum came back and made it. I came back and made it. I think Travis did. I can't remember. But again, this is just more proof. Stop listening to the BS out there. The whole don't Clark, you should never Clark, 3 misses and done. You're never going to see that at elite lifting. Okay? You're never going to see that. And there's no difference between junior lifting, senior lifting, and masters lifting. This is why Attitude Nation has the #1 masters team in the world, and we don't have a masters program, because it's all relevant to each athlete. Being a champion applies in all walks of life as far as approach and philosophy. Simplify training, pull each other, don't push each other. These are the topics of the day. Here goes Jess, 88K, by the way. It's impossible to have no works if you believe in Christ, Jacob. It goes 1 and 1. You can't get saved by Jesus and then not do works. That's impossible, because if you truly believe, you're going to do works just automatically. So saying that you have to add works, that does not get you into heaven. Romans 10:9 and 10, thief on the cross, I can continue, but this whole doing works because it's like added is, you know, they are tied into the same. So if you're not doing works, then you're not truly saved. Here's 175. Look at this. 3 reds and a comp collar. Whack. Sorry. I rewinded it there because I was reading the chat. And I wanted to see. There you go. There you go, Jacob. I wanted to see whack right there. Good. Why was I shaking my head? Oh, yeah. So here you go. Lightheaded. Very hard training. 175 kilo low hang clean and jerk. After battling 50, snatching 50 low hang with 130 kilo drop set doubles. Now you have to remember too, this is the second session of the day. We were in the gym all morning for, what was it, babe? Few hours. We go home, we eat, we come back. This is PM session. So if you're sitting here going like, wow, this is a really hard training session. A, this is every day. And B, this is the PM session. This is an all-day training. We had an hour and a half lunch break. It was back to it. So when I'm sitting on the ground like this, you know, lightheaded, tired, you know, look at this clip right here. This should be a poster. This is what I'm talking about. So if you feel this way in training, just know that you're not alone. Again, we're in this together. Okay? See, look at that. That's rough, brother. That's rough. But what's to come, by the way? We talk about the black felt. What's to come? What is about to come is an American Open gold medal. And best male lifter. And pretty much an American snatch record. Pretty darn close. That's what's about to come. So remember when training gets hard. Here's 175 by Travis, a weight class under me, by the way. Oh, gosh. See, look at that. I'm pulling him, baby, and he's pulling me. I mean, Travis is a weight class below, and he's attacking every weight I'm doing. Right? Travis knows, hey, I'm training with John. I'm training with Donnie. And we know we're training with him, too. We're benefiting off Travis greatly. But Travis knows, hey, I got cats above me in the next weight class lifting these weights. I'm going to attack John North. I'm going to go after Donnie Schenkel. He is utilizing the muscle driver environment, is why he signed on the paper, why he signed the eight-team contract with Coach Penley and Muscle Driver to join the team to chase us. And it's not about us, of course. It's about him, but he's using us to rise his numbers, which is really key to note, by the way. So shout out to Travis Cooper on just attacking these weights. Here's some drop sets here as we just got a few minutes. Let me fast forward. Nice job, Trav. Some drop sets here. So 175 was my top. I'm tired. I'm bent over. It's a rough session. Jess killed it. Oh, wow. Look at that. I thought I was done. So hit the single, I get back, hands on the knees. I forgot how brutal this session was, by the way. You know, we talk a lot about hard training, darkness. A lot of people know the Cal Strength videos, but this is one where if you watch it, you're like, wow, okay, this is the black felt that sits underneath the diamond to make that diamond pop. If you're looking for some motivation, just seeing hard training, this is why I like to watch the School of Champions, the Bulgarian documentary with Ivan Avajev. You know, I got a chance to train under Ivan Avajev multiple times. Alex Krejcev was one of my coaches for close to a year, the silver medalist from Bulgaria. And, you know, relating, seeing, feeling hard training on a screen or in person is going to benefit your training as well. Knowing that you're not alone, getting lightheaded, struggling with the drop sets, missing lifts and then coming back, clarking a lift, thinking, am I dumb? Am I doing something wrong? Am I pushing too hard? Is it a bad program that I'm clarking these lifts? No. Oh, John North did it like 3 times in the muscle driver video. And then 2 weeks later went out and took #1 in the country. See, I'm not trying to be egotistical about myself. I'm just using myself in these videos as an example. Because I want you to think of me next time you have a hard training session and know that you're not alone. It's that simple. And if you know that you're not alone, then you're going to push forward and you're going to be victorious in the future at some point when you cash out from the hard training. See, if you can't relate to me and you're not thinking of me or Travis or these videos, right? Or the podcast we did yesterday of building champions at Cal Strength, the tough video. And then what do you go to? Then all of a sudden online, you see all the softies, 5 days a week, easy training. If you clark, you should never clark. If you miss after 3, move on. You know, all of this soft talk. Well, guess what? You're going to get sucked into that. You're going to blink, and then guess what? You're going to be one of them. Rather than going, okay, School of Champions, Iron Mind videos, the Bulgarians, Muscle Driver, Cal Strength, the old school times, you know, everything that Dylan Cooper talks about. That's going to drive you to keep pushing. Here's this drop set. Whack. Punch, punch, punch. Ooh, brutal. Look at Travis Cooper as well, just sitting in this chair. Look at this video. Is anybody watching this? You want to talk about The Shining? This is what I'm talking about. You have to be mentally tough and you have to be around people that are going to keep you on track mentally. This is a mental hospital because if you're by yourself, there is zero way I could do this by myself. If I was in a garage just doing this program by myself and Glenn was telling me to do this, you know, train 6 hours a day this hard, there's no way. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm some motivational weightlifter. No way. Look at Travis Cooper. Look at Travis Cooper. And I talk about this. I always talk about the people in the background of these videos that I do. This is the sitting and the look and the feel of everyone in these videos I screen record. I'm lightheaded. I'm freaking throwing a fit. I'm so exhausted. Travis is just sitting there like, what am I doing? This is difficult. But this is hard training. Here goes Jess, big reds. Click, low, strong, clean. Punch on the jerk was beautiful. She's got a double. She's coming back for more. Another jerk. Travis Cooper grinding him out. I got one more jerk here. Walking off into the distance right here. Let's see. Okay. Can you guys see me squatting? Oh, yeah. Let's see. Okay. I'm just going to get to these real quick just to kind of put a cherry on top. 3 sets of 5 at 225, by the way. I just want to make that clear here. So let's see what it says. Last training cycle, John's best was 3 sets of 5, was 215. Last week, he made a new PR with 220 for 3 sets of 5. So here's 3 sets of 5 at 225. So not only in a lot of, look, 225 at the top here. So a lot of people get it twisted. They think we just did 1 sets of 5 all the time in max. That's not the case. We did 5s all the time. 2 sets of 5, 3 sets of 5, max set of 5. Every single week we did 5. That's why they're called the Penlay 5s. That's why today on the team program we have 5s. Okay? You got to push your 5s. If you're looking for a squat cycle, it's called 5s. If you're looking for a squat program, it's called squat every day. If you're not squatting at least 6 days a week, you're doing it wrong. I'll just be blunt with you. So knee wraps on, old school ace bandages, got the Attitude Nation belt. Again, join the team, do weightlifting.com. Would love to have you. We'll get you on the Facebook page, get you on the email chain. I'll coach you on Facebook on screenshots. We'll get you in the Zoom room where I'll coach you in live in person. We have a great team, 70-plus athletes. We roll into every team deep. We win medals. We have fun. We got the best team. Love to have you at doweightlifting.com. Are you leaving, baby? Okay, I'm going to say goodbye to my wife 1 sec, and then I want to just turn it up real quick as we end, and I want you to hear Coach Penlay coaching me just to kind of give you guys the vibe of these squats and the grind, okay? But just give me 2 seconds here. All right. Okay, I'm back. All right. So I'm going to keep the volume up.
Fast, fast, fast. On, fast, all the way up, all the way up.
Look at that. So fast, 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 all the way up. Come on, John. I mean, again, I just want to talk about simplifying training. Again, Glenn is a doctor. He's a PhD. He's certified genius with his testing scores. So, you can call him Dr. Glenn Penlay. But he never went by Dr. Glenn Penlay. But he is. So he's got a beautiful mind. He's like the mind of Elon Musk. He's very smart. But notice the coaching. It's very simplified. Fast, fast, fast. He's not using big words. He's not talking over you. He's not like a pastor at a church that's, making it crazy complicated. But he's also not talking to you like you're dumb, he's just real about it. He's in the trenches with you, pulling you, not pushing you. Just fast, fast, fast. You can do it. Just simplifying the motivation as someone who has their PhD and, I forget exactly what his degree is in, but something about, of course, how the body works. You got one more, John. You got one more.
Come on, fast. Big breath. Go, 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 go. That's it.
Okay, so last set here. So that was a grinder, and if you're sitting there thinking that was tough, yeah, it was really tough, but guess what? We got one more to go. And this is probably evening. The sun is setting. This would be something like a third session, end of the second session. Could be the sun rising. It could be the morning. It's just hard to tell. Again, there was no sessions in weightlifting. They all just kind of blended together. It was just a full day of training. But here's the last set of 5 here.
That's it. Come on, fast. Fast. You got these, John. Go. 2. That's it. Come on now. Big breath. Faster up now. Faster up. 3. That's it. Come on. Next one like that. Big breath. Faster up. 4. Come on, John.
There you go. You just got to keep fighting on these. The knees are coming in. The technique's not perfect, but we're not going for perfect technique. We're going for gold medals. You're going to survive. I'm trying to survive this set. I'm trying to make Coach happy, right? I'm trying to make Coach smile. Hence why the the 4-tier percentage that we do on the program. It's tough physically, it's tough mentally. I'm pushing through. I'm in darkness here. But we're getting after it here. We're doing it. Okay. So next time your squats are tough, just remember they're supposed to be tough. It was like when I started crying in Cal Strength and Dave said, there's no crying in weightlifting, John. I mean, I used to cry all the time. I used to cry off the platform. I used to cry on the platform. They didn't get this on video, but one set of 5 I was doing at Cal Strength, like on the 4th rep, I just sat there and I started crying. And Glenn came over to me. He's like, are you crying, John? And Dave came over and, I dropped the weight behind me and they had to talk to me. And, I had some mental breakdowns back then, I definitely cracked a lot. Let's put it that way. And again, that's why I always talk about team and support structure. You have to have it. I cracked mentally all the time. I was, you can see me as this crazy, energetic, attacking the bar, getting after it type guy. But you have to understand, like, I was always on the brink of just quitting because it was too tough. It was too tough. But I kept going because of the people in my corner. You have to be surrounded by people that are going to push you. And I know that sounds cheesy and corny, and I beat that dead horse all the time. But it's the truth. It's the truth.
You got it. Big breath, fast rep. Push out, push it out. There you go.
All right, there's the video. Sorry, I'm very intrigued with this discussion going on with Jacob and Will here on the chat board. I don't know what this is about, Will. I could be wrong because I'm coming in at the end, but I see children in heaven and sin and stuff like that. Have you posted the 2 Samuel 12:23 verse, Will? That all children go to heaven? I don't know if that is actually the topic at hand here, but I would post 2 Samuel 12:23, which is tattooed on my right arm. So I don't know if that helps. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been absolutely fun. I'm in big trouble with Greg Doucette because I missed our podcast time because this went way too long. But at least I can sit here as you guys are all on and plug it. Me and Greg Doucette run a weightlifting federation, as you know, called the Gladiator Weightlifting League. It's in year 4. Would love to have you. There's 4 more meets. It's all done on St. Clair. What we do is we take all 5 meets, and if you're going to sign up today, then you got 4 more meets, so that's plenty of meets. And we add up your St. Clair. And what we do is that determines who gets on podium at the end of the year. We give out prize money. You can compete from your garage, your gym. It's all done virtually on the internet through Zoom. You got a full IWF board. I mean, you've seen the post. Really fun league. Great way to keep the gas on the fire. Train through the GWLs and just use it as a max out to prepare for USA weightlifting meets or your federation in whatever country you're in. And so I really just urge people to go to the website and get signed up. We'd love to have you. And that's at doweightlifting.com. And of course, join my weightlifting team. Get on the team program. Get on the Facebook page. Get in the Zoom room. I'd love to be your coach. I'd love to coach you. I'll introduce you to all the teammates. And we'll get you on the Penlay Method program. And we'll get you going. Okay? So thank you guys so much. Have a blessed Tuesday, team. Let's attack the program. You have it there in your inbox with the hangs, with the squats, and with the death marches. We'll be back tomorrow. Greg Doucette, let's chat about finding another time today to podcast. God bless everybody. Salute. Thank you, chat board. And hopefully, Will and Jacob, why don't you guys DM each other? Why don't you guys, real quick, Jacob, Will, throw out your handle real quick or something so you guys can stay in touch with this conversation. That is on the chat board. That's what's fun about the chat board. Thanks, brother. I just enjoyed the chat. He already did. Yeah, I gotta read back. I don't even know what you guys are talking about. But Jacob, thank you for being on. the chat board, and of course Will. So God bless everybody. Salute, and we'll see you guys back tomorrow. Have a great day.